What's up, guys? How we doing, man? I hope everybody's having a good day today on their journey. I wanted to touch on something a little bit right now, and it is actually this is going to be about the downsides to maybe your previous self, or this is for people who might be just thinking about going on SR. Maybe doing some research about it, doing research on no-fap, semen retention, and trying to get an idea of what it's all about and why we do it. Um, so essentially, you guys, um, the idea that most people that talk about semen retention and why it's even a thing, why it even exists, is because, guys, when you decide to retain your life force and things like that, stop masturbating altogether. Stop. Well, I just made a video about this earlier, but no fap is when you stop masturbating, and then semen retention is actually when you go all the way there, and you also don't have any type of casual sex. You don't have any encounters with females. Essentially the goal is to not release. You know what I'm saying? Have an orgasm and release. Because our semen is a very powerful element to our body as men. And I think that the whole idea that society pushes on us is they don't teach us this stuff. They don't teach us this in school. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a very spiritual idea to get down. It's very hard for me to explain why, but our life force, when we decide to retain and we decide not to release it, you guys, it creates a spiritual connection, and it really opens up your consciousness. It's very hard for me to explain, but it's one of those benefits that you just have to experience for yourself. But I know that this our life force is pretty much like a magical, it's like that magic elixir. It's that magic, it's that mojo that we have inside of our body as men. So, it gives us a lot of benefits. Boosted testosterone, which is a huge part of it. When you have high and good testosterone levels, it increases your self-esteem. It increases just the way that you feel and operate throughout the world. As far as your mood, testosterone is a great mood stabilizer. It stabilizes you and your moods and the way that you feel about yourself. So that's gonna result in higher confidence. I see you got this a lot. Higher confidence. You're going to start thinking better about yourself. You're going to start looking at yourself differently. You're going to start admiring yourself more. And it just happens naturally. You know what I mean? All this stuff happens naturally. So it's hard to explain why. The only reason that I can speak on it is the testosterone boost. You know what I mean? But guys, you also have to realize that the porn, when you're watching porn, hopefully that doesn't trigger that algorithm stuff, but when you're watching those videos, you guys, it's doing a thing called subconscious programming, right? So the eyes, they say the eyes are the window to the soul. So whatever we're viewing with our eyes, it can affect our spirit and it affect our soul. So if we're watching all these grimy videos of other people having intercourse and things like that, it's going to put these images into our mind and make us a certain way. Our energy is going to be affected in that way. So you're going to have creepy vibes around women first and foremost, because it's going to make you think that women are all like the women that you see on the videos and things like that. It's going to make you have very weird energy because you're doing things in the dark that you aren't exactly proud of, because if you're anything like I was back in the day, you can just kind of be on autopilot, and you use masturbation as something that's like, relief, and you can get addicted to it. You can become an addict in that sense, to where you're just busting nuts all the time and you're not even thinking about it. You're just on autopilot. But what I wanted to speak on is, you guys, every time that you release, and you, if you're still in that phase to where you're doing that all the time, busting nuts, hopefully not on a daily basis, but even every couple days, you're really not allowing yourself to reach your full potential as a man, and you don't even realize it. That's the crazy thing, is that most people don't realize that they're not reaching their potential because they think that wherever they're at, when they're, in this habit of busting nuts, and, they think that that's where they're at. They think that's their potential. So it's one of those things that you don't really get until after you experience it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I just wanted to make this message to let some of you guys know that maybe are in the beginning phases, that you basically have a whole new reality that you can access. When you're going on Semen retention, you can reach a whole new level of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's every area of your body. Every area of your life. Your physical, your body, your mental health, and your spiritual health. So that's pretty much what you're giving up. Every time that you decide to masturbate, every time you decide to release like that, you're giving up confidence, self-esteem, motivation, drive, focus, ambition. You're giving up all these things every time you decide to just bust a nut and give up that quick dopamine hit. You know what I'm saying? So just wanted to make a little video and let you guys know that's what you're giving up, every time you do it. So, and you'll find that out once you go on a streak, once you see all those areas spike up and you're like, wow, like what the fuck was I really doing, So I encourage you guys to start going on a streak and, really take this serious, you know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. So much love to you guys. Hope everyone's having a good day, and I'll catch you guys later. God bless.